For Christmas on December 19, 2024, I set off on a trip to Europe. My flight was a direct round trip from Tokyo to Vienna with ANA Airlines. After a 15-hour flight, I arrived in Vienna. My original itinerary was Vienna, Budapest, Krakow, Warsaw, Prague, and return to Vienna, all by train. However, after Warsaw, decided to add a stop in Wrocław for just one day. The whole leisurely trip lasted about 3 weeks. I planned to stay in Vienna for 2 nights, then return for 3 more nights at the end of my trip after Prague. I'm using M6 now with a 8-element lens. Shoot XX at box ISO. Here's a list of cameras I carried, along with the film types and development. This video is footage from my first 2 and last 3 days in Vienna, as well as my film shots. This is my second time in Austria, the last visit being over a decade ago. I landed in Vienna at 5 a.m. It took me about 30 minutes and asking 2 locals to figure out the transportation system. Actually, I would say traveling in German-speaking region is quite convenient. Everyone speaks English, follow rules, and public transport like subways and buses is efficient. It feels similar to Japan in that way. Vienna gave me the impression of a very safe and livable Central Europe city, except for its high cost of living. As an Asian traveler, the only thing I found inconvenient was the public toilets in Europe usually require payment, while in Japan and most of Asia, they are free. Even though I brought 2 film cameras, Leica and Nikon, I only carried 1 each day, either the Leica or Nikon. Carry both was too heavy for me. For my first 2 days in Vienna, I used the Leica with the Summicron 35mm 8-element lens. I shot XX black and white film at box ISO, which was 250. After dropping off my luggage at a hotel, I immediately set out with my camera, started my city walk at St. Stephen's Cathedral. Another beautiful church I visited was Karlskirche, though it required payment, the tickets. I really love this high-key white photo. It looked like a log cover of a digital camera. So elegant. The way the micron A element lens renders white tones has always fascinated me. I developed the film myself using my homebrew D96 developer, and the results were excellent. Visually, Vienna felt like a piece of cake, delicately refined and polished. And of course, the coffee and the cakes here were delicious. This historic cafe, K&K Hofzucker Baker, had amazing pastries, and I didn't even have to wait in line. Before Christmas, Vienna was filled with festival vibes. The streets were packed with tourists soaking in the holiday atmosphere, and horse-drawn carriages bustled through the city. European winters have very short daylight hours, making sunlight feel precious. In the afternoon, the sound of horse hooves echoed through the narrow street, make me feel as if I had traveled back in time. At sunset and during the blue hour, the Christmas lights illuminated the city's pastel-colored buildings, giving Vienna the elegance of classic music like a string quartet. I like this digital photo even though it was slightly motion blur. The carriage driver, the girl, it's very Vienna. Yeah, everyone may experience the city differently, but for me, Vienna should always be shot on Fuji Rela 500D color negative film. these Rila 500D films are only a few rolls left. I shoot at ISO 200. Its book size is 500, but since the film had expired a long time ago, it was discontinued over 10 years ago, so I set at ISO 200. Was bought from someone bulk loaded, so the last frame was always exposed due to improper handling. If I had done it myself in the darkroom, that wouldn't have happened. All cine color negative film developed by ECN2 developer, which is the finished product I purchased. The famous historic cafes and restaurants in Vienna always had long queues. I only had 2 days. I didn't want to waste time waiting. Near this well-known Café Central, I found a Café Offro, which had excellent coffee. Here I took photos of a little girl. I love these two shots, such a little cute girl, with a soft and a warm color tone. Especially in one of them, the background figure on the left make the composition more interesting. My Leica A element lens never ceases to surprise me, right? The Christmas market in front of City Hall was the liveliest one I visited. Although I later saw Christmas markets in Budapest and Poland, Vienna's felt the most joyful. On January 7, 2025, I returned to Vienna from Prague. After Christmas, the city had become much quieter. I stayed at Hotel Prince Eugen near the Hauptbahnhof. a traditional hotel with room that had balconies. However, I booked a room without breakfast, so had to find my own morning meals. In Prague, I shoot with 4mm100 film. Back in Vienna, I reloaded my Leica with XX film. One fine morning, I set out with my Leica. My day began with breakfast at Café Old Wing, near St. Stephen's Square. This place has a long history, and people say its eggs are special, but I couldn't taste anything particularly different. This record store was featured in the film Before Sunrise. I haven't seen the movie, but it seems to have touched many young people from China and Korea who visit here to buy a 10 euros tote bag that comes with an LP or CD. I didn't buy one. It's a love story for the younger generation. 15 years ago in Munich, Germany, I bought hundreds of vinyl records. Now the vinyl price has skyrocketed, become so expensive. Has analog truly made a comeback? Neuburg is a district I really like. It's more of a local neighborhood, unlike the tourist-heavy city center. I would say next time I visit Vienna, definitely choose to stay here. These photos taken in Vienna, shot with XX, were developed using homemade Konica SD20 developer. I mixed by myself, and you can see that the contrast is indeed slightly higher. I also loved the retail cafe in Neuburg. There were no other tourists inside, just locals. I even got a bit emotional because it reminded me of the old cafe on Nanjing Road in Shanghai from 3 decades ago. It also matched my memories of a classic Central European cafe restaurant. One of the best things I ate in Vienna was this kind of sausage in a Kaiserschmarrn bread. I don't know its name, but I like it. It was even better than what I had at restaurants. Like I went to the famous Fugemüller, old restaurant since 1903, for my dinner, and ordered their beef soup pop. Honestly, for its price, the taste was just okay. When I left, I saw a long line of people still waiting to get in. Now I'm going to take this train to Budapest. I have long to visit. So thanks for watching. See you in next episode, The Exciting Budapest.